Okay guys, so now we're going to do question 4, right? This is a past paper, a June 2022 past paper. So if you want more questions on this, please check the description of this video. I've done all the questions for this past paper, right? So I chose to do each question separately, so hence you see each video has its own question, right? Let's solve this question 4. So what we have here is an exponential function, right? And we are given the equation of an exponential function and also given a point that passes through it. In 4.1, we are asked to find the value of a, which is this a here, right? So to find that a, we already have g of x is equals to a into 1 over 3 to the power of x plus 7. And we are given a point that passes through it, which is this e, right? Which this is your x value being equals to minus 2. And this is your y value being equal to 10. So when we see y, we're going to put 10 is equals to our a value into 1 over 3 to the power of, where there's x, we put minus 2, so it's plus 7, right? So let me use a black pen. And then this plus 7, we're going to transpose it to the other side. We have 10 minus 7 is equals to a multiplied by 1 over 3 to the power of minus 2, right? And then we will have 3 here is equals to a into, so I'm just going to say 3 to the power of minus 1, taking this 3 here upwards, and then to the power of minus 2 here. This minus 2 will multiply this power here. So we have 3 is equals to a into 3 to the power of 2, right? So we're going to divide by 3 to the power of 2, both sides, 3 to the power of 2. Our a value is equals to 3 over 3 to the power of 2. Which is equals to 1 over 3, right? So that is our a value for this question here, right? So let's now go to 4.2, and where we are asked to find the coordinates of the y-intercept of g, right? So now we found the value of a, right? Our a value is equals to 1 over 3. So just going to substitute it in our g of x, which is equals to a into 1 over 3 to the power of x plus 7, right? So g of x is equals to 1 over 3 into 1 over 3 to the power of x plus 7. And then to find the y-intercept, you say y-intercept when x is equals to 0, right? So it's just going to be g of 0 is equals to 1 over 3 to the power of 1 over, into 1 over 3 all to the power of 0 plus 7. Please punch this in your calculator. By the way, this is 3. Just going to write it properly. So it's 1 over 3. So punch this in your calculator. You will find 22, I think, over 3, right? So the coordinates is going to be 0 and 22 over 3. So these are your coordinates of the y-intercept of g, right? So now we're done with this question here. We're going to do 4.7, right? So 4.7 is as follows. So we are given an equation of h of x, right? This one here. And 4.3.1, we are asked to describe the translation of g to h. Remember, g of x was equals to 1 over 3 into 1 over 3 to the power of x, right, plus 7. And if you were to write this properly, 1 over 3 and 1 over 3 is just going to be g of x is equals to 1 over 3 all to the power of x plus 1, right? And then plus the 7, right? So that's how you write your g of x. And then now to translate this, because h of x is equals to 1 over 3 all to the power of x only. So there's no this 7 units here. It's not there. So it means now that if you were to interpret it, you're going to say this function here, because you're moving from g of x to h of x, right? G of x to h of x, right? So moving from g of x to h of x, it means now that the graph moved 7 units to 7 units downwards, right? Because this is plus 7. So you need to remove this plus 7. How do you remove a plus 7? You minus a 7 to get 0, right? So the graph moved 7 units downwards. That's the first point. The second translation point is because you can see at the top here, it's only x, and here it's x plus 1, right? To remove this plus 1, you need to subtract 1, right? You need to put a negative, right? So it means now that you can say the graph moved 1 unit to the right. I hope you understand that. 1 unit to the right. Why 1 unit to the right? Because this x plus 1 is actually moving to the left. It's x equals to minus 1. It's moving to the left. So to move it to the right, you have to add 1, right? And then it's going to be x equals to 0, right? So yeah, it's moving to the right. So that is the translation of this problem here. 7 units downwards and 1 unit to the right. Right. And then now let's do the last question of this problem here. So we are asked to determine the inverse of h, right? So to find the inverse, so the h of x is given as 1 over 3 all to the power of x, right? And to find the inverse of this, we have to write first as y is equals to 1 over 3 to the power of x, and we swap. Where there's x, we put y. Where there's y, we put x, basically. So here we're going to put x is equals to 1 over 3 to the power of y. And then you need to write in the standard form of y is equals to, as they said here. So y is equals to log, and then here it is a base. So base is 1 over 3, and then x, which is this one here. So this is going to be your inverse for this question here. Thank you so much for watching. If you struggled with anything in this question, please let me know in the comment section below. And just so you know that there are more questions on the description of this video for this past paper of June of 2022. So please check them out. All the questions from question 1 all the way up to the last question of this paper. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and don't forget to like the video.